Grand Rising. It is Thanksgiving for many people who celebrate it. I'm not one. However, welcome to Dream Series number 5. The reason I look so tired this morning and I'm wearing the same sweatshirt is because it was easy to grab and I got to do laundry. And I just got up. I want to remember my dream. I had another dream before it, but all I can remember is very witchy stuff, like being out in the woods, doing spells, things like that, being with a large coven. We're talking like movie theater type stuff, like the movies, not reality. Um, but my dream that I can remember was that I was in Hayes, Kansas, and I can only remember like the last part of the dream for some reason. Um, we were walking up the stairs to the apartments that are above the hardware store. There's an old hardware store. It's not a hardware store anymore on the corner of 8th and Main in Hayes, Kansas. I don't live there anymore, but that's where I used to live when I was a kid. And we did live there in that apartment, my mother and I. And anyway, my best friend Shannon and I were going up these stairs, and I think there was a sign that said art for sale up here. So we went to go look because I'm an artist and she likes art. And we knock on the door and we get up there, and it's really dark, by the way. Like, it's really dark up there. And we knock on the door, which was the same apartment that I lived in. There were multiple apartments above the hardware store. And we go in, and it's very weird how it looks. It wasn't like it was when I was living there as a kid. But anyway, there's this guy there, and we're asking him questions about his art and things like that. I can remember the carpets being like very high shag, green and orange carpets. Like, they were very ugly, very, very mid-century. And this guy's laying in a bed without any sheets on it, and just, I mean, everything looks real like ugly, and makes you think that his art, like, he really needs to sell his art, maybe to buy groceries or pay rent or things like that. So we're talking to him about his art pieces, and he shows us some really big pieces of his art, and they're kind of cool, actually. And the next thing I know, we're being moved out to the hallway with him. He's like, "Here, let me give you a tour of the hallway." And there's these, and you're upright, and below you is like this empty hollow area, which is interesting because there's technically a hardware store underneath there. So I don't know how it's all empty and hollow. I mean, like, you could fall, but anyway, it's a dream. So reality doesn't exist. Um, and there's these short rails, and I mean short, like maybe 2 feet tall rails along the side that would probably make you actually trip and fall if you accidentally grab one, because your ankle's gonna go boop and you're going whoop right over the edge. So anyway, there's like this in my dream, not reality again, this like runway with like these rails on the side, and they go side to side and back and forth, and there's a back door towards the back. Well, duh. It says towards the back, Kita. Anyway, we're walking through there. We're being very careful, and he keeps saying, "Be very, very careful. Don't go. Don't fall. You won't make it." And I see this Rottweiler running around down there, and he's like, "Good boy, good boy." Excuse me. Like I said, I just woke up, so the brain's still getting it together. And I open the back door and there's no landing place. There's no stairs. Like you just go straight down. And I'm like, why is this even accessible to open from the inside? He's like, I don't know. And so all of a sudden I'm at the bottom part. I don't remember where the stairs were, and when I had to go down to the part where if you fall, you're going down, and the Rottweiler's down there too. But both Shannon and that guy are down there as well, and that's where all of his art is. Like, so we pick out some art, and Shannon buys a really big piece for $100, and then I see some, like, quit saying like, Kita. I get angry with myself. I see a paintbrush moving on a canvas without anybody there. And I'm like, what's this about? What's this about? Why is that happening? And he just ignores it and acts like he doesn't know anything about it. And I'm like, so are you the artist, or is the ghost an artist? That was my dream. And Shannon bought a piece for $100, and she said $800. And I just painted on, boy, I was disrespectful in the dream. I painted on one of his canvases and just kind of added some highlights and things like that. Which is funny. And we left. There's another part in the dream that I forgot to mention that was earlier in the dream when he was laying in that bed without any sheets on it. He looked at me and he was trying to flirt with me, which doesn't fly for me. I don't like to be flirted with. And he was like, "Didn't I see you at church?" And I just about died laughing, and Shannon she was spitting water out of her nose. Kita at church? No. Kita doesn't believe in organized religion. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And he was trying so hard to flirt with me in the weirdest way. And I was like, it's not going to work. So anyway, that was the dream. Whoop! There goes the phone. That was definitely a weird dream again. I mean, it's pretty common that I have the weird dreams. I mean, who doesn't have weird dreams, where you wake up and you're like, what was that about? So, dream series number 5. There you go. Sorry, I'm not more enthusiastic about it this morning. I'm still trying to wake up. I gotta go get in the shower, clean house, and that's it for me. Make some salmon and green beans for the day. Like I said, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. My dogs are wrestling, so there's that. Get him! Get him! So there's something a little bit fun for the end of the video here. Get him! All right, guys, if you're having Thanksgiving, eat, be merry, and be well. And most of all, be kind. Don't forget to follow or subscribe for more.